My name is Stephan. Today's video is about a business day calculation using Power Apps and with Copilot. We are going to be substituting a Power App collection for a SharePoint list. I am a managing consultant with IBM working in SharePoint and the Power Platform, and recently I have just completed my certification for Power Platform Developer, which means, lucky me, I now have 4 certifications I get to renew every 6 months, and I will be working on another 2, which completes my year. The focus of this video is on our business days calculation in Power Apps using a collection instead of a SharePoint list. We will accomplish this by taking my last project, which used a SharePoint list, and converting it to using a collection. Copilot will supply the collection, and also it will refactor our code to use that collection. The steps in the conversion. And the first step is basically housekeeping. We will save the app to another name and rename the form so that we don't get confused on which app we're running. Next, we will delete the connection to the SharePoint list. Next, we will ask Copilot to build our collection for us. Then we will insert that connection into the onStart event. Then we need to run the app onStart so that the program knows about the collection. And next to the last, we ask Copilot to refactor the code in button calculate, which was using the SharePoint list and will now use the connection. And finally, we insert the updated code back into button calculate and we test. Let me start off by introducing the app to those who might not have been familiar with my last video. The app is fairly straightforward. There's only a few controls. You have the day controls and they're coordinated with each other. So if I change the date to July 1st on the start date, the end date will automatically be July 1st, and that's where we start to find our date range. We have a text box here that shows the business days that are calculated, and we have a gallery control that actually lists the dates of those business days. And as you can see right now, it's showing one business day, which is counting the day that it's showing. Now, I'm doing this on a Saturday, so this is actually moved to the next Monday. So let's just take a simple example of July 4th next year, which I know falls on a Friday. So I'm going to start this and I'm going to go to next year, July 4th. And start on the 1st and go to the 7th. Let's say I want to take vacation then. Okay. I want to know how many business days that I have to take. And here it's showing us 4 business days. The 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd is on a Friday, which is a celebrated day. Then we have the 4th and the 5th, which are weekend days. So we have the 6th and we have the 7th. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to change the way that button calculate works and the way it calculates. And the on change event of the end date is what calls the button calculate. So I want to go ahead and show you that right now. So the on change event does a few edits to make sure it's the right date, not a weekend or something like that. And then it calls this button calculate. But the actual code is in a hidden button, which is button calculate, and it's in the on select. So this is what actually uses the SharePoint holidays date. And just to show you real quickly, this is my holidays file, and it lists the date, the year, and the day of the week. So we can actually come down to the 26th on Independence Day and see that it falls on a it's going to be celebrated on a Friday because it falls on a Saturday. So what we're actually doing is we're going to change this. We're going to change this SharePoint file to use an internal collection, which we're going to have generate from Copilot. So The first thing I want to do is I want to rename the app. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go Save As, and I want to call the app Business Days with Collection. And once you do a Save As in Power Apps, it actually puts you in where you're saving it to, unlike Power Automate. So at this point, it's now called Business Days with Collection. And just to keep my sanity, I'm going to change the form name as well so that I know what's executing. So I'm changing that to Business Days with Collection. The next thing that we want to do is we want to get rid of the holiday. We don't want it in our programming. We don't want to reference. So I'm going to actually remove it. And you'll notice we get an error as soon as that happens, but we knew that. So what we need to do first is go to Copilot and ask Copilot, and I've already done that right now. So I said, create a Power App collection called Holidays from federal holidays, years 2025 to 2030, with the following fields: holiday name, holiday date, which is going to be a date value, year, which is going to be 4 digits, day num, which is going to be 1 through 7, 1 being Sunday. The holiday date needs to be the celebrated date. Example, July 3rd, 2026 is when July 4th is celebrated. And I said, give me the complete clear syntax, clear collect syntax. So what I want to do is I want to just copy this, and it'll get some other text and garbage in there too. So I'll show you that. We'll just strip it out. It's probably the easiest way to do that. Sometimes I'd ask it for a text file, but Copilot's kind of unreliable on. Sometimes I get a text file and sometimes I don't. And also you need to make sure, so I'm going to just strip off the end of this, Control Shift End, delete that. And then I'm going to copy that, do a Control A, Control C, and I'll get this out of the way. And I want to go back to my Power App, and I want to go into the start event of the app and just paste it. And I always like to do a format text to make sure that it's valid syntax. And sometimes Copilot screws up. So I'm just saying you have to check what Copilot is doing. Okay, so it looks like we, let's see, make sure we got them all, because I've had it before where it didn't give me. Okay, so it gave me through Christmas on 2030. Okay, so that's fine. The next thing we need to do is we need to go into the button calculate. And we're also going to get Copilot to help us, and we kind of have to watch to see if it does it right. So, okay, so I want this to actually reference the collection. So I'm going to take this whole statement right here, and I'm going to go back to Copilot, and I'm going to say, please change the following code to use the call holidays collection instead of the holidays SharePoint list. And I just, you could actually put this in a separate file if you wanted to, but I just pasted it all in. And it doesn't look very pretty the way I pasted in, but Copilot deals with it. Okay, so here's our change syntax. Okay, so it says not value in call holidays date. So it's taking the collection. So I'm going to take that out. And I'm going to go back to the code. And I'm going to replace that. Okay, I don't have any syntax errors, and it's using the collection. One thing I forgot to do, which is crucial, I need to run an app start so that my command knows I have a collection. So let's see if this works now. Okay, so let's go and let's do a reset. Start off. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same one. July 20. 26. From the 1st to the 7th. Now let's see if we get the same answer. Okay, so now we actually have replaced our collection, our holiday dates with a collection. Okay, probably a good idea to save this and publish it. And that concludes our changeover to a collection with Copilot. Final thoughts. Copilot should be integral to every programmer. And I'm just going to list some of the things that I've had Copilot help me with. It identifies and fixes syntax errors. It creates routines, structures, and refactors code. It creates random sample data. It comments and explains code. It also helps in debugging and cryptic error messages. In short, don't leave home without Copilot. Thank you so much for watching this video. And just a reminder, under the video description are links to code and links to other videos. And again, thank you.